It's time! So today is the release day of the Stolen Heir, and I'm so excited, mainly because this is my first anticipated release of 2023, and I'm just so excited. So today I'm going to be starting a vlog. It's only a 5-hour audiobook. I got the audiobook on Libby. I literally was like hoping, praying, and manifesting that I would get this book today because I really want my vlog uploaded by tomorrow. I don't know why. If you are like looking forward to like the rest of my end of the year videos, the worst books of the year will be uploaded after this video. So yeah, I'm like very excited. I cleared my schedule. I ate. Cleared my schedule. I don't have nothing to do. I ate. I showered. I just feel like so good and refreshed. I wish I had some snacks, but that's okay. So I'm gonna be listening to audiobook. The audiobook is 10 hours long. It actually might be 9 hours, low-key. It's 10 hours long, so it should take me about 5 hours to read. I should be done with it. Like, I should have this video up tomorrow, to be honest. Especially because I have insomnia right now, so I'm up all night anyways. Yeah, the audiobook is 10 hours and 9 minutes, so it's basically 9 hours. So I should be done in like 4.5 hours. Yeah, I'm gonna be reading on tonight, and then I'm gonna edit it, and I'm gonna upload it, and I'm just so excited. And right now all I'm doing is crocheting and cataloging books. I'm in my audiobook era. I don't really want to read ebooks. I was just gonna get the ebook, but I'm like, I really don't want to read the ebook. But if I did, I could finish it a lot faster. But that's fine, it's whatever. So I'm just cataloging all the books that I own. My copy should be here Thursday, so unfortunately it won't be in the thumbnail, but I'll just put the book in the like picture. Unfortunately you will have like this terrible lighting the entire video because it's 6 o'clock, but the sun went down. That's the unfortunate thing about January. But other than that, I'm like very excited. My predictions, I can't wait to see Carter and Jude. Somebody tweeted that Carter and Jude are 28, 29, and I was like so geeked because, you know, in the Cruel Prince, Carter was like 19 and I'm 24, and I just don't feel comfortable. Like, I just didn't, once I became older than Carden, because I think when I read The Folk of the Air, me and Carden were the same age, or I was a year older than him. Yeah, I was a year older than him, so I was like, okay, fine, like this is my man's. But as I got older, I'm like, fuck, Carden is 19, like this is so weird. I can't be thirsting over a 19-year-old. But now that he's 28, I just like, yes, I love it. And now he's older than me. That's crazy. I was older than him when I first read the book, and now he's older than me. And I just love that I love that, because one thing I hate about like YA, I don't hate it, but one thing I like hate about YA is that like the YA books that I read in high school, like I am now older than all of them. Like I'm older than Peter Kavinsky, and like obviously technically Peter Kavinsky would be older than me, but like the books doesn't, she's not writing the books forever. So like right now Peter Kavinsky is like 18 years old, but when I first read the book, Peter was like 17 and I was like 14 or 15. I don't know, I don't remember. But this is not about them. This is about the Stolen Heir. I'm so excited. I knew that Oak was going to be getting his own book. If you guys remember, I did this, I don't know, like I grew a lot since then, but there was this live stream I did when I don't remember how many subscribers I had. I don't remember who channel was on. It was me and a bunch of booktubers. I remember Jake, my best friend Jake from Jake Does Books, who like doesn't do booktube anymore, but is trying to come back to booktube, and I'm trying to convince him to come back to booktube. We'll see, like Jake and like some other booktubers. We were all on like this live stream, and this is when The Wicked King came out, and we were all talking about our predictions. And I literally remember saying like, oh, I feel like Holly Black is gonna write a spin-off series for Oak. I also wanted a spin-off series for Nicasia, but like whatever. But I was like, yeah, she's gonna have one for Oak. And years later, I'm a young prophet. What can I say? What can I say? So my predictions is, I feel like for the first half I am gonna probably be like a little bored, not gonna lie, just because that's how I was in the Cruel Prince. And then I just feel like I'm gonna love Oak. Like I feel like I'm just gonna love Oak. Yeah, so those are my predictions. I'm gonna stop talking. I feel like I'm like buying time because I'm like so nervous to read this book, considering it is my first book of the year. And like last year my anticipated releases were ass, and like last year one of my anticipated releases was a Holly Black book, so I'm like scared that like it's not gonna hit. But regardless, it's gonna be a fun experience, and I can't wait to experience this with you guys. Yeah, let's get on to the book. Okay, so I've made it to chapter 3, which is an hour into the book, which is 12%. As I suspected, I'm not bored, but there's nothing happening. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of like, let's pick it up a notch, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not bored. I'm not like, ugh, I don't want to read this. Like, you know, I'm happy to be back in this world. They're mentioning like, they mentioned like Jude already, and I'm happy like Oak is here. Like Oak is like in the first chapter of the book, like not chapter, but he's like in the first of the book. But I also like Ren. Ren is the main character. If you're somehow watching this and you don't know what the Stolen Heir is about, it actually I don't know what it's about yet either. But so far, what I've gathered is about Ren, who's blue, and she was actually orphaned in the human world, and she was adopted by a human family, and they just thought like, oh, this bitch is cold as fuck. Like, let's heat her up. Like, what the fuck wrong with her? Whole time the bitch is just blue. She's just fucking blue. And she has like this adopted family, and at the age of 9 the fairy world came and they took her back because they're like, bitch, you're not human. Like, no matter what you want, what you think, you're not human. And I find it, I don't know, I like this. She kind of reminds me of Jude, but not like, she's not like too much like Jude, you know? And it's just like, I like that her adopted family that she has, she calls them her unfamily. She calls them her unmother and her unfather, because the fairies won't let her refer to them as her mothers and fathers, so they think it's like disgusting. And we've already gotten like some fairy lore, like how there's like this tree in the woods that people go to, and they think that if you know, tell the devil your wish, you just have to do something for him in return and he'll do it for you. And Ren is like, bitch, this is just a fairy with goat legs. Like, you bitches are really dumb. And I don't know, I'm really liking it so far, but the part that I'm at, nothing's happening, but I'm very excited. I can see myself giving this 4 stars so far. Like, I'm not like where my rest of my anticipated is, where I was like, this is boring. But I feel like I can see it going up, because that's usually how I read. Every book usually starts off at a 3-star, and then it makes its way up or down or whatever. But I'm having so much fun so far. I'm loving it, and I can't wait to like see where this story goes. I don't know how much I'm gonna update. I'll probably do like an update. Maybe I'll do like an update at 30%, 50%, halfway to the end, and then the end, because I do want this vlog to be like, I don't want it to be like long, but I do want this vlog to be like, you know, I don't want it to be like 12 minutes long. Like, you know, 15-20 minutes is fine. But I don't want it to be too long, because it's only a 10-hour book. But I'm gonna try to aim for no spoilers, so we'll see how that goes. I mean, it's not like there's much to be said for it to need spoilers, but I'm very excited, and I'm gonna stop talking so that I can get into the book. I've really just been laying here and really taking in the book. I haven't cataloged, I haven't done anything. I stopped to FaceTime Jake to see if he wants to buddy read it with me, but he's like, no, I'm gonna read it Thursday, so I have to read it alone. But other than that, I'm having fun. I love the characters. I might make a Pinterest board for them while I read the books. That's what I like to do. I can't wait for this book to come in. Like, I wish I had it in my hands. One of my friends posted their book, and I'm like, bitch, I'm so jealous. I pre-ordered it, but I didn't have money in time. And so I've got to wait until Thursday, which is fine. But it'll be like way after this video is uploaded. But whatever. Let me just enjoy this book while I can, because it is 7 o'clock and I'm an hour in, so that means I have 4 hours left. And I want this book to be read by 1 a.m. So I am 34% into the audiobook. And so far I'm like, at first when I was reading, I'm like, my brother's playing video games. Oh my gosh. At first when I was reading, I'm like, oh, this is a 4-star read. Right now it's sitting at 3-star. Not that I'm like hating it. Like, you know, I don't hate it or anything. Like, it's good. I just feel like, and I'm attached to the characters. I just feel like there's nothing going on. There's no plot really, and like, I'm just kind of waiting for something to happen, I guess. And then Oak, okay, so first of all, I love Oak though. Like, there's this part where I like the way that they talk about the mortal world in like this universe. They just talk about it like so fascinating. Like Ren and Oak were talking, and he was like, oh yeah, I've been to the mortal world, like I ate pizza. And I was just like, I don't know, like that was just interesting to me. But then he was talking about how he when he was in the mortal world, he went trick-or-treating and he went as himself, and I'm like, you are so Oak. Like, I don't know, Oak is just so Oak, and like, I don't know, I love that. And I do love Ren so far. I'm just bored. And then they kissed at 34%, and I was just like, I'm not feeling it. But then he was like dancing with this other girl. She was like, oh, like basically saying like, I wonder if my kiss mattered to him that little. And I'm just like, okay, this is disturbing. But it's not. Somebody told me this was enemies to lovers when they were promoting this book, and I'm like, this is not enemies to lovers. Like, they don't really like hate each other. They're kind of just like, you know. But I'm not hating it, and that's the most important part. And I really do see my rating changing. I'm gonna be so sad if I get to the end of this book and I'm like, yeah, I thought the rating was gonna change, but it's still a 3-star. But yeah, so I'm just gonna go back to it. It is currently 8:44. I wish I had some snacks, but yeah, I'm just laying in bed chilling, listening to the book. Like, my hair looks crazy. Oop. I hope that wasn't a nipple slip. I am now 50% through the book, and I don't know why, but when I first read the description of the book, I thought this was gonna be like a adventure, like a journey type of story, where like they're on a journey to like find something, kind of like an Enchantment of Ravens. And I do not like journey fantasies. Like, I just don't like them. I find them extremely boring. Like, there's nothing like really creative, with the exception of like, I can't think of the book title, but that's like a really, oh, The Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon. That's like the only exception. That's because it was smut included, low-key. So that's what I thought this book was going to be about. But I finally read the description because I did not know what this book was about. I just knew it was about Surin, who was supposed to marry Oak, and then Oak. And I thought they were like going on a journey for something, but that's not what this book is about at all. Like, this has like no journey so far, and I'm like, wow, I'm an idiot, and this is what I get for not reading the description. This is basically about Surin, who is like an heir. They're both heirs, they're both royalty. Surin, and I'm sad that, like, I'm sorry this is like 50% through the book and I'm telling you what it's about, but genuinely I never read descriptions of books, so I don't know what a book is about until it starts the plot. So if a book doesn't have a plot, I never know what the book is about. I can never tell you. But yeah, this is about Surin, who is like the heir to the Court of Teeth, and Nora, who's the Queen of Court of Teeth, and how like she's just stirring up these monsters and making them do like these terrible things to people, and Surin just doesn't fuck with it. So she makes bargains with these people to like free them, and Nora's just like not fucking with that. And then it's like Oak, who he's on like some fucking mission, and yeah, and like they're kind of serving, like, Surin reminds me of Jude so much, but not too much to where they're the exact same person. And they have like some lines where I'm like, oh, just eats. But overall, the story itself, I'm kind of just like, man, like nothing's really happening right now. But if Holly Black goes the route that I think she's gonna go in, how I think she's gonna go is, I think it's gonna be exactly like the Cruel Prince, but not too much. So basically, the book is gonna get to like the end of the book and some shit is really gonna start happening. And I think it's going to be like that because Holly Black knows what works for her. This book got really popular because of BookTube, and then got really popular again because of BookTok. So Holly Black knows, like, okay, this is what people liked about The Cruel Prince. I'm going to make it again, but I'm not going to make an exact copy. And like, honestly, even if this is not on purpose and she's just writing this, I still think that she's like really smart about it, because they don't remind me of Jude and Carter because they have their own thing, and they kind of have like a bit of like childhood friend tease, not really. And like, they showed this scene of Oak, and he was gonna run away because people kept trying to poison him and they kept trying to kill him. And this was around the time, like, this is like when, like, I think this is right between the King of the, I think this is during Wicked King. I think this is either during the Wicked King or right after the Queen of Nothing, one of those. And like, people kept trying to like assassinate him and poison him and kill him, all because they wanted to like get to his sister, because they did not want her on the throne, or they wanted him on the throne, but when he didn't want to betray his sister, they tried to kill him. And I love that Oka's a writer fucking died for his sister. Like, there's even this scene where he talks about how he was cruel to her when she was younger, and he was like, I regret that so much, but I don't want to tell her because I know she'll be mad at me. And I'm like, Oka's just such a sweet baby prince. Like, I fucking love him. And I love Surin. Like, I love these characters. Like, Holly Black knows how to write like some good ass characters, and their romance is eating. Sorry, back to like the whole childhood friends part. So Surin used to live in the woods. The Fae kind of took her away because they're like, you can't live with these humans because you are the heir to the Court of Teeth. But she didn't really want to live with the Court of Teeth, and she like ran away to live in the woods. And so Oak went and found her. He was like, well, let me run away with you, like let me be with you. And she's like, oh, like we would do this, like we would count the stars and we would have tea together. But she doesn't want him to really stay with her because she knows that he has people that cares about him, unlike her. She's like being mean to him to make him think that he hates her. And she is like, she's like, I don't know, I just really thought that that was like cool. And like she does let him stay like one night, and he thinks that she hates her. He thinks that she hates him. And I don't know, I love it. And so there's this scene where he like says something to her. I'm sorry, I just forgot because I was talking so much. But at the 50% mark, there's a scene where he says something to her, and I'm gonna see if I can go back and get the exact words. She's the only one who can control Lady Nora, says Tyrion gradually. Without her, this is a fool's errand. We don't need her. So there's a scene where like Taryn, not like Taryn like Jude's sister, or their sister, like Jude and Oak's sister, but there's this guy named Taryn who they're working with. He's like, we need her, and Oak is like, no, we don't need her. And he says it like with aggression, and she's like, I know he's telling the truth because Faye don't lie. And I'm like, this is where you get me, because I love like in books where like someone's like, oh, there's a flash of something in his eye, but it couldn't have been love because why would he love me? And like I love that, those type of scenes, but at the same time they're kind of unrealistic because it's just like, girl, you know that he loves you, like stop playing. But with the Fae it makes more sense because it's like they can't lie. So if he's like, I hate you, like he hates you. But it's like that's what makes Jude and Carden get, because when he's like, I hate you, like he does, but he loves her so much as well. But Faye can't lie. And so that's what I love about like these fairy stories, is they take my favorite like trope and they go along, like they go one way with it. And I'm liking it so far. It's a 4-star read. Like it's not like amazing. They aren't giving like Jude Carden, but if Holly Black does what I think she's gonna do, where like the last like 30% is gonna eat, then it's probably gonna be a 5-star. So yeah, but let me stop talking because it's 10 o'clock and I have 2 hours left. So I had to take a break so I could watch Lala's video. But yeah, I'm 70% through. And I'm literally just about to start Lala's video. Like, I was like, break time. Okay, so I just finished The Stolen Heir, and I'm giving it 4 out of 5 stars. Maybe 4.5 if I thought on it. This is a really good book, and I'm actually happy that I did end up liking it, because like obviously the Book of Night like was an adult book. It was a different series. It wasn't that big of a deal. But I was just like, has Holly Black lost her touch? Like, what's going on? But now that we're back in the world of Elfame, I think that is where Holly Black does her best work, and that's where she thrives the most, because this book was literally amazing. It was fun. I loved Oak. Like, he's literally my son. Oak is my son. Like, since I'm like so much older than like these characters, I don't see myself like in love with these characters. I'm not like, oh my gosh, Oak's a book boyfriend, but like Oak's a son. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's definitely a favorite character for sure, but like I'm not like romantic, like, oh my gosh, like I want to be with Oak, because he's like what, 17, 19, however old he is. It's just weird to me. But other than that, like I loved him. I love Surin. Like, I was worried, but like Holly Black knows how to write a character, and like I just think that like she was just like such a deep person. And like, though I'm not gonna say she had so much personality, but like there was so much to her, and I feel like she was really similar to Jude without being an exact copy of Jude. And like honestly, Jude and Surin are really similar, and I think that they would like connect a lot. And like there's just so much with like Surin and Oak's relationship, and there's so much about Oak, like him like all obsessed with fighting, like but like he knows if he fights he like go too far. But also him to me, his Oak's fighting is like Carden's like alcoholism, and like the fact that like Oak can like take so much poison because he's made from poison because of how he was born, and just learning about his character, because like reading the Folk of the Air series, like Oak is just a character, and like actually like getting more on his story just like meant so much to me. And like also Oak has hooves and horns. Like the horns I knew about, but the hooves, that was crazy. Like, okay, Holly, like I'm just now getting used to the tail. The horns I could do regardless, but the hooves, I'm gonna have to think on that for a very long time because I don't know how I feel about that. But also Surin is literally blue, so it's kind of just like whatever. And I like that Surin wasn't human. I thought that was really interesting, and that's something that like, I don't know, Holly Black is just so good at like just thinking about things that like nobody else has thought of. Like nobody else would have wrote the Folk of the Air series from the perspective of Jude. She's not the princess, she's not the twin that people cared about. And even though like, and then even in this story, like nobody would write about some random blue fairy. Like usually that would be like the love interest, not the main character. And I also liked how we heard about there was like a Locke mention in there. Like they talked about Taryn and how like her husband, like she like Oak was like talking about him, and she was saying like, yeah, her late husband or something like that. And I was like, okay, I love that. I think the plot though, plot wise, I wasn't fully into it. Like I didn't hate it, I didn't hate it, or it wasn't no plot. Like, you know, my issue with a lot of YA stories is that there isn't a plot. But for me, it's just like I didn't particularly care about it. Not that I found it boring, but it was just like whatever. But I did like within the Cruel Prince or in the Folk of the Air series, whatever, Jude and Carden barely have any scenes. But in this book, Oak and Surin have a lot of scenes. They have a lot to talk about. There is a lot sharing, and personally I think that they are childhood friends to lovers because they have like a lot of like childhood like issues. They're not really enemies to lovers, or I guess they are technically enemies to lovers, but they're not to me because I know that like Oak is in love with her, or Oak is intrigued by her, at least, especially because he's mentioned that he was in love with her. Like he's just he's my baby, he's my son. Like he was talking about how he falls in love with people so fast, and like he was going through like all the people that he fell in love with, and Surin was one of them. So the love is definitely there, but that was like when they were kids, but the love is definitely there. Like come on now. And then the end of the book, now it wasn't like as I suspected where it was going to be like this huge plot twist. There was a plot twist at the end, but I wasn't like gasped by it. I wasn't like gagged, you know. But there was a plot twist at the end, and I did like it. I did enjoy it. And to me, I think that Jude and Carden are definitely going to be in the sequel just because of how the book ended. They definitely are going to be in book 2. We might not like it, but they're definitely going to be in book 2. And I'm excited to see where it goes. I personally feel like if I read book 2 and like it, I could see myself going back and changing my rating to 5 stars. I'm so happy. I'm so proud of Holly Black. Like she didn't ruin anything for me, because that's like my fear with like spin-off series is like when they ruin other characters. But Jude and Carden weren't really mentioned a lot, and I know a lot of other people are gonna be sad about that, but this is Oak's story, so of course they aren't gonna be mentioned. It's not even really Oak's story, it's Surin's story. She just knows about Jude and Carden. She doesn't know these people like that. So I personally don't mind that they are mentioned, but they aren't mentioned like a lot, or as people would expect it, and or what people would want. But that's okay with me because this is not Jude Carden stories. And personally, I know a lot of people, they love like, you know, with the Shadow Me series, how there's always like a new novella coming out, and there's always like something. I personally don't like that kind of stuff because I like a story to just be a story, like, and then to end. I like for things to end like TV shows. I don't like when TV shows go on for too long. Now, don't get me wrong, there are TV shows that I love that last forever. Like Grey's Anatomy, I'm just starting to watch that. I love that it's 19 seasons. Or like even Cassandra Clare's Shadow Hunter Chronicles. I love that there's so many books in that series. But I do also mostly appreciate when things like when a show is like, here's 5 seasons, this is the end. I eat it up. You know what I'm saying? So personally for me, like I just didn't want another story about June and Carden, or like even the story of them doing mundane things. Like that just wouldn't be interesting to me. I'm not the kind of person who reads purely for couples. As much as I love June and Carden, I think it will ruin it for me because I need like plot, I need interest. You know, I need something to be there. But I love that this story was Soren's story, and I love the end. And it did have me shook. It just didn't have me like gagged and gasping or whatever. And it was really good, and I really liked it. And I think that if you are watching this vlog to see if you should read it, you should definitely give it a read. Listen to the audiobook. It's really fast. Obviously I listened to it in a few hours, and I'm just so happy that my first anticipated release for the end of the, for like the beginning of the year, it started off good. I just feel like last year everything just started off bad. My first read of the year was 1 star. My first anticipated release of the year was 1 star, and it just started off bad. And my year personally, like outside of like reading, was just terrible. So I just feel like I started off the year with a 5-star read. I started off with my anticipated releases with a 4-star read. I just feel like this year, like book wise and personal wise, it's just gonna look up so well. And I'm just like, I don't know. I just loved it, and I'm so happy, and I can't wait for book 2, and I'm so sad that we have to wait another year, but whatever. So be on the lookout. I am going to be doing more of these. I have a million anticipated releases, so I'm going to be doing more vlogs dedicated to my anticipated releases. Next week, actually, I'll be doing Hellbent. I don't know when I'm going to have that up because that audiobook is like, what, 15 hours? My brother's playing his piano. Hellbent is 16 hours, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to get it up like the next day like I was able to with this one, but definitely be on the lookout for Hellbent. And I'm literally so freaking happy, guys. Like, you guys don't understand, and I cannot wait for you to see this vlog. Like, I'm just so happy and satisfied, and I can't wait to see like this journey of like my anticipated releases. And like I said, I'll be vlogging my entire journey. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you've read the book, let me know your rating. I know it just came out, but like I know that like videos are like over time. So if you're watching this 7 months from now, just comment like what you rated the book. I don't care. Even if you go and read the book, if you read the book 3 weeks from now, come back and tell me. If you read the book 7 months from now, come back and tell me. I want to know your ratings. I want to talk about it. I want to know what you liked. Do you like Soren? Do you like Oak? They're both my children. I love Soren just as much as I love Oak, honestly. Like, her story was written so, it was amazing. It was